they identified that there would be limitations on the amounts of digital euros that individuals or businesses may hold in their digital wallets. And they noted that it was an effective holding limits were an effective tool, and it would be included in the design of a digital euro. So they signaled to us subtly, each of these central banks, that there will be control.
Yeah, Eva, correct me if I'm wrong, but I understood it as that they will literally take the money from you if you're not using it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and they can set it to expire within 30 days.
That's so weird.
And if you don't convert the goods, it will evaporate.
So in other words, we're going back to communism. Like, everybody is equal. It's communism / socialism at this point. Like, everybody's equal. You can't be rich, you can't be wealthy, because you can't have money in your account.
CBDC on the one hand is control of your money. Tokenization of assets is control of everything else.
Wow.
And we know that at some point, we're going to lose, in the great controversy, as we read it in Revelation 13, those who are loyal to God and obey His laws and worship God aren't going to be able to buy or sell. You know, we can expect, I think, the way we wrap our head around this mentally is to see the changes that are going on, see the architecture that they're building to enforce Satan's no buy, no sell policy, but read the Bible and really improve our relationship with God and with Christ and have that daily devotional time, because God doesn't want us to be afraid of any of these things. We should count it a blessing to have to lose our money and all of our things for Jesus.
So Revelation 13, Mark of the Beast, that also includes, of course, no buying and selling. And I think that we are starting to see this growth towards this idea of no buying and selling. It's coming closer and closer. Mark of the Beast is coming closer and closer. And so we need to talk about this. What's actually happening so we can be prepared. CBDC, central bank digital currency. We're going to talk about it with Eva and Heidi Tompkin. Why does this matter? Why is this connected to the Mark of the Beast? How are we gearing towards this?
So I realized during the pandemic that I work in the financial markets. I'm a lawyer. I practiced law for 20 years in New York before retiring to practice in the financial markets. And because of my work in the financial markets, I watch the central banks very closely. I have to see what they're doing, how they're setting interest rates, what they're doing, because what they do affects the markets. So during the pandemic, I started to see this push towards central bank digital currency. And I looked into this, and for me, God showed me that this is really the perfect architecture for Satan's no buy, no sell policy. It's fully programmable. Central bank digital currency, for those who don't know what it is, it's fully programmable, fully traceable digital currency that is issued by a government or its central bank. And because it's issued by one authority and it's fully programmable, fully traceable, fully surveillable, they can see all of your transactions in real time, monitor them all in real time. They can track them in real time. They can tax you instantly. They could institute negative interest rates, which would be a deduction from your balance, which would be in your digital wallet. So they really need a few things to have this type of system. They need a high quality digital ID, which they're pushing the real ID right now as well.
Yeah.
And need a digital public infrastructure, which is central bank digital currency or a similar stable coin, some sort of digital currency. And then they need widespread sharing of information. So the reason why it's a threat to liberty is because with central bank digital currency, you really need the government or the central bank's agreement that you should spend that amount of money in that transaction at that location for that particular item. They could really program your CBDC so that it can't work to buy certain foods and goods that they might not want you to buy, so that it can't work in certain locations, that it can't work for a specific amount. They could program it however they want to elicit the behavior that they want for people. So that's fully controllable by the central bank that issues it.